Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about the Warlord class in Legend of Ymir. I'll be splitting this video into two parts. The first part will cover my personal experience and insights, plus more interesting things I found from the Korean community about this class. Then in the second part, I'll go through every skill of this class one by one. Okay, so guys, let's get started. So first of all, I think this class is one of the most favorites among Korean players who enjoy PvP. Like in the early days of the game, melee characters like the Warlord had a hard time farming because ranged characters could attack from far away. But later on, when players started farming in inter-server maps where PvP is allowed, everything changed. From what I saw in the Korean community, many ranged players started to complain about melee characters like the Warlord. They said Warlords were bullying people in those maps, especially when you're just trying to farm while staying AFK. Basically, Warlords became the scary ones who control those PK areas. And if you check the rankings on Korean website, you see a lot of Warlords at the top. And in Season 1, most of the high-ranking players were Warlords. In Season 2, they were still dominating, though many of them were probably the same players from before. But in Season 3, things change a bit. You start seeing more archers in the ranking. That's because a month before Season 3 started, the developers added the new archer class, and of course that created a lot of hype. Now, since the Warlord is strong and very popular, that also means it can be an expensive class to build in global version because many people play it. The items and materials for this class can cost more, so if you want to keep up, you might need to farm more, invest more, and upgrade your character often. The Warlord is powerful, but it also needs more effort to progress. Alright, now let's move on to the second part of this video. Let's check each of the Warlord's skills one by one. Okay, so guys, the first skills of this class is Tornado Pierce. If you look at the animation, for me, it's really nice. It's simple, but you can feel that impact. Anyway, this Tornado Pierce is actually the ultimate skill of this class. Basically, this is not a normal skill, and you will be able to get it from one of the mystery quests, or what they call here the saga quest. And among all the skills, when maxed out, this one has the highest damage percentage. But you cannot use this skill anytime you want. You need to keep fighting monsters until the bar below your HP and mana becomes full. That's what makes this an ultimate skill. And if there's one thing you notice with this class skill, it's the knockdown effect. Like most of its skill have this kind of effect. And the crazy part, guys, is that it can go up to 100% when your skill is maxed out. Next is Raising Wave, which is actually pretty useful for farming because it has a monster damage buff once you level it to at least level 3. Then when you level it up to level 5, that bonus becomes stronger. So this one is good for monster hunting, but you won't see any knockdown effects on this skill. Then we have the Double Dash skill, where the animation looks like a basic attack. But if you check the effects, you will see the most loved one by players, the knockdown effects. It's back again on this skill. And when you max this skill out, your knockdown chance can go up to 60%. But one good thing here is that when you fail to knock down your opponent, they will have lower resistance, which is -%. So basically, if you didn't knock down your opponent, there's a higher chance you'll knock them down with your next skill. And I think this is what makes this class really annoying to fight against. Like, imagine getting knocked to the ground over and over. It's super frustrating, right? So I say this class really shines as a CC focused class, especially in PvP. Next, we have this skill called Burst Impact. From the animation itself, it seems like you can use this to jump straight toward your opponent. So this can be a good starting skill, I think, or something to use when your opponent is running away. Also, if you check the effects when maxed out, the crazy part is that the PvP knockdown can reach up to 100%. And not only that, guys, when you fail to knock down, again, it has this effect. It lowers your opponent's resistance. So this one is also a really strong skill. Next, we have the Jumping Smash. And looking at the animation, just like the previous one, you can use this to jump straight toward your opponent. But if you look at the effects, even when you already max it out, you'll notice that there are no CC effects like the knockdown. Most of the effects here are related to damage or DPS. So I think even though the skill is similar to the previous one, the other one might be better as a starting combo or for chasing, since that one has a knockdown effect. Next skill is this rolling spear, and from the animation it's completely different from the previous skills. This one makes you stay in your location. If you check the effects, you see there's a status called immunity, and to be honest, I'm not totally sure what it does, but maybe it makes you immune to status effects like stun or freeze while performing the skill. That's just my guess though. Also, notice that there are not other effects aside from immunity even when you level up to level 7. But when you reach beyond level 7, other effects will start appearing. Next, we have this skill called Wind Stream, where the animation looks kinda cool, like some martial arts move, kicking a monster, and in the skill effects you'll see that the knockdown effect is back. You'll also see the monster damage buff here, so it's obviously good for AFK farming or monster hunting. And when you level this skill up to the max, the knockdown chance goes up to 100%. And you'll also get a boss damage bonus, so yeah, this one is one of the good PvE skills too. Next is combo strike. So from the animation itself, guys, it looks like a long skill, like you pull and then you push your opponent, which kind of looks cool. For the effects, when you max this out, you get bonus monster damage, and on top of that there's also monster skill damage, boss damage, and physical damage. So this one is definitely a DPS type skill, great for AFK farming or monster hunting. And then after that we have this double thrust, and if you look at the animation, guys, it's beautiful, right? For me, among all the animation of this class, this one is my favorite. It looks like you're releasing some kind of energy power, and it feels like a long range skill attacks. And if you check the effects, you'll see the knockdown effects again, so they're back. And when you max this skill, you can get up to 100% PvP knockdown. And not only that, guys, it has that same usual effect where if you fail to knock down your opponent, it lowers their resistance, but this time it's minus 20%, while before we usually saw minus 15%, right? So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Next is this skill power defense. So from the animation, it looks like the Warlord creates a shield using his spear while attacking. That's why it makes sense that the main effect of this skill is immunity. So again, we're seeing that effect for the second time. Yeah, I'm still not completely sure, but I feel like when you use this skill, you become immune to CC effects like stun or freeze. Basically, you might want to use this skill when you know your opponent is about to drop a CC skill, so you can counter it right away. And similar to the other immunity skill, you won't get any extra effects until level 8 up to level 7. Yeah, it's just immunity. So maybe this immunity thing is really an important mechanic in this game. So once you level this skill to level 8 or higher, you'll start seeing additional effects. Now we have this skill, Life Drain. The animation looks kind of basic, but the skill is actually rare. All other skill books for your skills can be both from merchants in the city or in your clan, except for this specific skill and the next one. So basically, for the Warlord, there are only 2 skills that you need to hunt from monsters or buy from the other players. When you max this one out, guys, you'll notice it has 80% health recovery, and from the name Life Drain, it's probably a life steal type of skill. You damage your opponent and recover HP at the same time. Maybe that's what makes this skill rare and special. Okay, so guys, next is the Goat Smash, which looks really good. I think this one right now might be my favorite skill animation for this class. The animation shows your character jumping toward your opponent, so it's another skill that's good for starting combo, I think, or chasing someone who's running away from you. So guys, if you look at the effects, it has knockdown, and when you max it out, the knockdown chance can reach up to 100%. And also it lowers your opponent resistance when the knockdown fails. And the crazy part is that right now it's minus 25%. That's crazy, right? While we usually see only like 15 or 20, I think. And before I forgot, guys, this skill is also rare. You need to get it from monsters or buy it from the other players in the market. Okay, so guys, next is this skill called Pierce Spear. From the animation, this feels like a long-range attack where you throw your spear, and if you check the effects, you'll see the knockdown again. And when you max it out, your knockdown chance is 100%. Plus, if the knockdown fails, your opponent's resistance drop by 15%. Like I mentioned earlier, you really need to familiarize yourself with which skills have knockdown and which ones have the failure knockdown default. So you might want to wait 10 to 15 seconds before using another skill with a knockdown failure effect, so that you can, you know, like you can keep applying debuffs consistently. Anyway, we still have one last skill here, the level 60 skill of the Warlord, and from the animation it looks more like a buff. And if you check the effects, you'll see the immunity to abnormal status again. So this is the third time we've seen this. It also has ignore silence, which means you can still use your skill even if someone tries to silence you. On top of that, you get a bunch of bonus stats from this buff. So that's all for the active skills of the Warlord. Now, moving to the passive skills, this part is actually almost the same for all classes except for the first four. So the first one gives you bonus physical attack power. The second one gives you bonus hit, which is the stat you need when fighting someone with high evasion. Then you have physical damage, and that's based on percentage. And then physical defense, and then after that you have deadly avoidance, which reduces critical damage taken. And then after that you have the bonus evasion, and finally a bonus PvP defense. So those are the stats that you can boost with this skill. Next is the potential skill, where guys you can reset these skills anytime you want. Basically guys, once you reach level 35, you'll get one bonus skill point to spend on any of this potential skill. And every time you level up, you'll get another one. Usually player focuses on leveling wisdom first, since it increases your mana and mana regen, both very important in this game, especially since it's mostly farming. Later, when you're higher level, you can reset and focus on stats you need more. Personally, when I reach high level, I switch mine to Loki's agility, which increases hit and evasion, because that helps me survive longer during long AFK farming session. And the last tab is the special skills. These ones are super rare. You need a plus 15 Mjolnir, and for the others, you need a plus 15 Megs. And even here in Korea, these are still extremely rare. If you check the market prices, even this one that is not yet plus 15, it's already super expensive. So basically these skills will probably be used first by the whales of the game. Okay, so guys, that's all for the Warlord class. So what do you think about the Warlord class? Are you going to use this in the global release of the game? So let me know in the comments. And if you want to add more something about Warlord class with your experience, guys, we really appreciate your experience. Please leave your comments. Alright, so thank you guys again. Thank you.